Hey, welcome back. Watching in the upper room. What a fantastic segment that was, Tom.
That was unbelievable. Meeting Michael.
Yeah, and you know what? You asked them some great questions too.
Thank you,
Tom,
for being the first time on the host on the show.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because you counterbalanced me perfectly because I've known Michael so long that I may forget to bring out things that people may not know about him just because I know it. You know.
I didn't understand the theme of Stairway to Heaven, but
Yeah.
it really was a complicated theme, and he explained it very well.
Absolutely. Good job, Mike.
Very good job.
Yes. So we are now entering into our second interview. We are going to have a conversation with the JNN Foundation. And welcome to In the Upper Room. I'm so glad that you could join us this evening.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yes. Well, you know, I was tipped about your work by a very good friend of mine who happens to be a part of your organization. Her name is Terry Potts.
That's right.
And let me tell you, she just blows my mind, man. Her energy. Terry is just so positive. So yeah, I'm glad I found out about you, and I'm glad our audience is going to learn more. Can you please tell us what is the JNN Foundation and what type of work you do?
Sure. JNN is a nonprofit 501(c) foundation established here in the state of Delaware. It was created to honor the memory of my late father, Mr. Joseph Nyabiosi Nyakundi, hence the JNN initials.
Okay.
And my father lived an extraordinary life. He was married for 48 years to my mother, Mrs. Helen Nyabiosi.
All right.
They had 10 children and adopted 5 more.
Wow.
They taught us great values.
Yes.
They taught us to honor God, respect God because He's the source of life.
Okay.
They taught us to embrace family and friendships because they're your support in life. They taught us to invest in education because it's a tool that will open great opportunities in life. They also taught us to give back.
Okay.
As your duty in life, you have to give back.
Right.
And they also taught us to set a positive example.
Yeah.
So that we can mentor and help others through this journey.
Excellent.
Yeah, so my late father in 1969, he built a secondary boarding school in Kenya that housed grades 9 to 12 grade, and he enrolled 1,000 students.
Oh, wow. So, go ahead. Please.
Yeah, at the age of 30.
At the age of 30, he did all of this?
Yes.
Wow.
And at the age of 40, he also built a primary boarding school that housed the kindergarten through the 8th grade and enrolled 600 students.
Is that right?
Wow.
Yes, and he offered free education to 50% of these children because they were orphans.
Yes.
And some of them came from poor families.
Okay.
So he did this to give them a better opportunity in life.
Right.
And so the JNN Foundation would like to honor his life and to carry on his legacy.
Right.
Our mission is to promote and support activities that will provide food, clothing, housing, healthcare, and education to these orphans, to disadvantaged children everywhere.
Right.
And to provide programs that can empower women, not only in Africa, but in other areas that need it, and specifically here in Delaware.
Okay.
Some of the statistics that I wanted to share with you guys is every 15 seconds, a child is orphaned. About 6,000 children are orphaned in one day, and over 2 million children are orphaned in 1 year.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Right.
About 1 billion children don't have access to clean water, safe water. 1.4 million children die every year from diseases because of unsafe water and poor sanitation.
Yeah.
And these are statistics from the World Health Organization.
Okay, so that's the World Health Organization.
Yes, World Health Organization. So the JNN Foundation really believes that we can make a difference.
Right.
And so we've partnered with some local organizations in Kenya.
Okay.
Like the East African Women Lawyers Organization.
Okay.
And we want to partner with them so they can help us manage and execute programs that we support in Kenya.
Right.
We've also partnered with Jambo Africa. It's a non-profit organization based in Maryland that supports orphans in Tanzania.
Okay.
We've also partnered with Success Children, is a nonprofit organization right here in Delaware that supports children in Haiti. We've also partnered with the nonprofit magazine from Ohio that has programs that empower women.
Right.
And lastly, we've partnered with West Wilmington Seventh-day Adventist Church with their outreach program to serve the homeless right here in Wilmington.
That is wonderful. And a detailed description of the work. I appreciate you doing that because we have a very viable Kenyan community here in Delaware, and I was just with a good friend of ours, BB Coker, earlier this evening, and it was a social call. But BB has done a lot of work with our Kenyan community here. And I just find it so impressive, the early start that your father got in founding and building, you know, charitable organizations. He probably was taught that way as well as, you know, the way that he taught you.
Yes.
And what an honor you guys are doing. And now I see you brought three people with you.
David Bolton is the chairman of our board of trustees.
Excellent.
And he's going to talk more about the foundation and what projects that we've actually support.
Excellent.
Well, Mike and Tom, you know that you've probably heard the saying that it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
Well, it takes a family to raise a foundation, and we have quite a family at JNN.
All right.
I'm the chairman of a board, and you've already met the CEO, Minith. And we also have Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer, Compliance Officer to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Right.
But the most important people in this JNN Foundation are the directors of the different projects.
Okay.
And I'd like to kind of go over a little bit about the different projects. If we could have the website put on the...
It's up.
Okay, good. We have 5 clubs that people can contribute to. I want to go through them. The first is the Lions Club, and that's named for Joseph Nebiosi, and it addresses capital projects, so building, equipment, renovations. We also have the Elephant Club. The Elephant Club supports orphanage needs, such as healthcare, food, clothing, and maintenance. We also have the Giraffe Club, which is education, because we want our kids to grow.
Gotcha.
And that helps things like classroom materials, tuition, books, those types of things. We also have the Zebra Club, and the Zebra Club helps support women's issues, women's empowerment. So dealing with microfinancing, health, and education and employment.
Great.
And lastly, we have the Buffalo Club, and like the Water Buffalo Club.
Absolutely.
So the Water Buffalo Club is there for water projects.
Got it.
And you and I, we all kind of take it for granted that we can go to the sink and get water. That's not the case in Africa many times. So the orphans we're talking about have to go long distances to get water.
Yeah.
And so one of our focus is to bring that water to them. So you know, to provide wells and tanks and piping.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So another very important person in this family is the gentleman next to me, which is Bonnie Gutugi. He's president of philanthropy.
All right.
I'd like to turn it over to him.
Okay.
First and foremost, thank you, Mike and Tom, for having us.
You're welcome. Yes.
This is actually a blessing, as we were going through the website and finding out the ministry.
That's Mike.
The ministry of Upper Room. We did find that your values pretty much mirror our values.
Right.
They're really founded on Christian values. There's the aspect of fairness, there's equal opportunity, and that is what we offer in JNN.
Right.
So I'm here briefly to talk about our short-term goals, mid-term goals, and where do we go long-term as an organization.
Okay.
Believe it or not, even though we were founded in 2009, we actually got our 501c3 the March of this year. So our first